I'm live. I need to get this on my phone. And then we're going to put comments over here. Oh, Bob's Adventure. Good morning. Are you still there? Van Life with Gina Payne. Thank you. I'm just trying to bring up my YouTube so I can kind of follow along there. All right. Gotcha. So we've got first in the house, Bob's Adventure. And, you know, I'm sitting kind of weird because I'm supposed to have a co-host and he's supposed to be sitting right here.
Right here.
Oh, he's coming out right now. He was super nice. He made me a big cup of coffee. I got to turn down my phone because I talk and then I hear myself talk twice, and nobody wants that. So Bob's in. Yep. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. My name is Richard.
And I'm Lucretia, as you know.
And we're
burning up the roads. We will be, I promise. Well, we are trying to anyways. So Bob's in the house first, Van Life with Gina Payne. You both had great shows today. I got to watch quite a bit of Bob's. I really like that woman. Her philosophies and her practices in life are soul healing. That's how I see what she was talking about, is soul healing and soul living. You know, her comment about being a human human being rather than a human doing. And I'm a human doer most of the time. And I have to force myself to back off being a doing person and being a human person. And I feel much better when I'm a human person, but there's this voice in me that constantly says, do. That's how you are. That's how I perceive myself being accepted in the world, as being a doer and not so much a being person. And I know that's a load of crap, excuse the language, but that's a load of crap, that there's this negative voice in my head that tells me, and I work against it intentionally. It's intentional living. So thank you for having her on your show today, because it was really good, Bob. And thanks for letting me come up this morning, Gina. It was good conversation. A good conversation about Reddit and the different tools that we have. So I want to say hi also to Meant to Be RVing. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Very glad you're here. Rayleigh Creative Travel. Glad you're here, and thanks for being at Roy and Becky's. I always love theirs because I can't wait to be outdoors there. And we can't do it until sometime in January, but we're coming. So you might not want to give us your address. I'm so excited. I'm there already in my head. Really, I'm there in my head. And sometimes it's hard to be present here. And so Forever Best Friend, hello. And we've got our Epic RV Adventure. Hello, Michael and Shelly. Following the Yellow Brick Road. Nice to see you here. My sister Olita, whom I call Patricia or Patty. Hello, Patty.
Hi, Patty.
Roy and Becky, thanks for coming. Your show is always good. I love it. Thanks for walking over and saying hi to Box Van D and everybody over there. And I would love to have one of those grill things. Maybe smaller, but I really like that. I'll tell you what, 40 years ago, my mother would have had one because she cooked for 1,000 people when there was only, 6 to 10.
40 years.
Camping Therapy. Hello. Welcome. Glad you're here this morning. Living the RV Loca life. Welcome. Glad you're here. RV Ashes in April. Thank you for coming. I'm really glad you're here. Papa Drew's RV, welcome. I don't know if you've been here yet, but I'm glad to see you here. Thank you. Hitch up and toe. Hello. You know you always welcome me quickly on other live streams, and so welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if moderators could drop their links, and also do me a favor and drop the link for Hitch Up and Toe. And I really am thankful and grateful that there's people. Gotta turn down my phone. Stop talking. That there's people who, are so nice out there. I'm just, it feels good. It makes me feel good. So thank you. All right. I don't think I've missed anybody. I don't think I've missed anybody.
If we have, hello.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see if I got it. I got everything there. All right. So hello, everybody. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in Eugene, Oregon, Pacific Northwest, home of the Oregon Duck football team.
Tie the door down.
Winners of the when I say Super Bowl, Rose Bowl last year. And I'm an alma mater. That's my alma mater in my 50s, by the way. Try doing it in your 50s with a cohort of 18 to 22-year-olds. That was a great time. So anyways, thank you for coming, everybody. Okay, so welcome everybody. I've got my little cheat sheet here, and moderators, drop your links, please. Bob and let's see, we've got Bob's Adventure, Meant to Be RVing. Thank you. We're still a small channel, small show, and I'm just grateful to be able to get up here and talk to a few people a couple times a week. So what I wanted to do is, first of all, just see what's happening in the community. Is there anything exciting going on? Is anybody having an besides the fact there's going to be a big Box Fan D birthday party tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Central. I'm looking forward to that. Hello, Linda Barker. I see you're here. Welcome. She says, hello, Richard.
Hello, Linda.
If you want to follow along on my phone and watch the chat. So how are you this morning, by the way?
My back's killing me.
He's having a rough time. Have you smoked cigarettes today?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God.
Trying not to.
Buddy, help me. He can't have surgery till he can prove through a UA that he is not smoking cigarettes. No nicotine. He can't have nicotine. So hello, little sister Priscilla Hughes.
Hi, Priscilla.
She's my best friend. Really, she's my very best friend, and I love her, and I'm glad she's here. And my sister Patricia Olita, I love her too.
Hello, Van Life Rocks.
Thank you for coming, Van Life Rocks and Griswold Family Vacay. Hello, James Catanese. Yep, Priscilla's my best friend, and she's really one of the things when we do hit the road that's going to be tough. Well, we don't see each other every day. We live about 10 miles apart. But she's my best friend, and we grew up together, very close together, just a year and a half apart or so. And so she knows it's not going to be easy. That part's not going to be easy being away from her and everybody else. But it's not like we're going forever, okay? And this is my home. Eugene is my home. So I'm trying to give her extra support about that because, we're close, and there's phone. There is, she could come and see me here twice a week.
Hi, Van Life Rocks.
So anyways, I just wanted to point her out because she's a great sister. I tortured her as a child, yeah, I wasn't the best sister, best big sister. I actually once enticed her to jump off a roof, and I told her I would catch her, and I didn't. No, she didn't get hurt, tragically hurt, nothing like that. But otherwise, I wouldn't share that story. But I was quite obnoxious. I was a quite obnoxious child, and I wouldn't want to see her hurt. I thought it would be funny. Funny. Now, nobody could have ever enticed me to jump off a roof because I knew people like me existed in the world, even as a child. So, yep. Let's see. Yeah, the world has went crazy, it's went real crazy. And so we don't get to see each other every day. Or, we did see each other quite a bit when our father was in the nursing home, but as you know, he passed 2 months ago, and so we don't see each other as much. But yeah, let's see. I know she trusted me. I'm one of the first reasons she learned to distrust people. So I've been trying to teach her she can trust people since I grew up a little bit. Um, so anything happening in the community?
Hi, James Cantonese.
Yes, I caught Mike, our neighbor, who is best friends with. He was her age, which is about 2 years younger than me. And yes, I caught Mike, and she saw that. And then I said, why don't you try it, Priscilla? I don't even get up on roofs. You couldn't pay me. I don't get up. I'm 5'3". I used to be 5'5.5", but no, I'm now 5'3". You couldn't pay me to get up on anything. We built a fort one time in these people's yard. We were friends with these kids, and I climbed up, the little ladder to get up into the fort, and then I couldn't get down. I was terrified. And guess what? The fire department, who my dad was a member of, had to come and get me out of there. And I blacked out. I don't have a memory of being taken out. I'm gut-wrenchingly afraid of heights. So I try to stay away from anything high. Yep. And my sister's husband's recovering from an open heart surgery. I mean, he's 57. I'm 58. Kelly's 57. And then my niece, her daughter, Kelly, about 4 months ago, had open heart surgery. Didn't know he was in heart failure. Just thought he had the flu. And so that was traumatic for everybody. And then her daughter, my niece, who's only 32, has had 3 spinal surgeries, cervical, and has been in the hospital for close to 2 weeks now, with another one. And we're pretty, I think the consensus is going to be most likely she's going to have brain surgery. And that's no little thing. And so she has the same neurosurgeon I do. And this neurosurgeon is the dog fighter. He's the top of the heap. He is the surgeon's surgeon. We're very lucky to have him.
He's a god.
Yep, and we'll use a little g because we got a god, but Dr. Miller is a god in this world of ours as far as keeping us moving. So, anyways, Ashley is a beautiful, very vibrant 32-year-old young woman, and this has kicked her rear end. It took them about 10-12 years to figure it out. And so, yep, this is what we're dealing with. So back to anything going on in the community, because I could talk about me all day and the people I know. Are you seeing anything on there, honey?
No, I haven't been looking right there.
Okay. So
moving much.
So in our world, we couldn't get much more problematic, father dying, a brother-in-law having open heart surgery and really didn't know if he would live in the beginning. I think there was wonder and concern. Spent some days in ICU, and this is a man who's very vibrant himself, works hard, just looks like health, not an ounce of fat on the man. Okay. And he was dying inside. So go figure. And then niece Ashley, I wish she was on here today. I miss her. I haven't been able to see her at the hospital. Yes, a lot of medical concerns following the Yellow Brick Road. It's a lot of things have happened really quickly for us. And I'm not concerned about mine. I will have surgery. I'm waiting for the approval. And I don't know if that's better or worse.
I think it's worse.
I will have surgery. And once I have surgery, dang. Once I have surgery, I'll be great.
That makes me look good.
You look good. Once I have surgery on my back, it's part of the steps for me getting to be a nomad, which is where I'm headed and what Victoria May Wallace, welcome. Glad you're here. Very happy to see you in the room. So yeah, I'm not concerned about it. I'll be 3 days in the hospital. I'll get home. I'll be moving around. I'll be in rehabilitation and I'll be fine. You know, I've had 10 of these surgeries. So I know what's ahead and I wanted to get it done. There is nothing I would let stand in the way of me getting this taken care of.
Yeah, so push it on me.
Yep.
I'm trying to quit smoking. It isn't easy though.
Has anybody out there quit smoking in recent time that he's even got the patch and it's not really working for him? He's found himself smoking with the patch on.
So I'm not wearing one.
It's because I've said, you know, it can cause you to have a heart attack.
I've started chewing gum. Hopefully that'll help.
Regular gum, not the Nicorette gum.
Although I did have that before and quit with it.
So I guess he needs to call his doctor today and get Nicorette gum because this can't go on.
It's over the counter now.
Oh, it is?
I think so.
Cool. All right. So I'm just looking, trying to stay in the camera, looking at,
Congratulations, Papa Drew's RV. Quit smoking the last 3 months.
How did you do it, Papa Drew? Did you just stop or did you use a method, some method? Some people, he has just stopped before. When 30 years ago, when I found out I was pregnant, stopped smoking like that. Not even a question. So I'm not sure why all the trouble this time. But with addictive things, usually it gets worse, never better. And cigarettes are no different. Coming off this time is going to be hard. COVID-19. That's how you stopped. Okay. Senior sister.
That would help.
Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Anytime I go and I'm in the hospital, usually I can quit smoking before my surgeries. I go into the hospital and I have no problem. It's when I'm coming out of the hospital that I want a cigarette.
When he comes out of surgery, I mean, I can tell you, I'm there. They've had to bring me back into the place where people aren't allowed to calm him down. Okay, so, which was kind of bizarre, but it was interesting. So I just want him to get done so he can get surgery. Papa Drew did it with, Papa Drew, he got the gum. He did it for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Then sunflower seeds. You love sunflower seeds. Misty Pruitt quit for 35 years and was up to 2 packs a day. I put them down 5 years ago and never picked them up again. Congratulations, Misty Pruitt. My mother and my oldest sister, it took their lives, and it's on my mother's death certificate as the main cause of her passing. And that was 30 years ago. My son was our son. He's my baby. No, he's our kid. My mom passed 30 years ago. He was 9 months old, and it was an ugly death. That's all I can say. And then my oldest sister died almost 4 years ago. July 19th, I believe it is, will be 4 years. And it's a horrible death. My little sister quit cold turkey. Priscilla, out of the blue, started smoking at 20. She thought, because, I was a rebel. I had my stuff. And she thought that smoking was going to be the rebellious thing she did. And for 20 years.
She may have used a tube from a nebulizer to inhale on. I don't know if that's true or not.
It is.
She's saying something about it.
Yep, it is. That's what she did. She used the nebulizer tube to inhale. It's because there's part of it is not just physiological, but it's physical, and it's having to do with the hands. And if you, instead of going for a cigarette, if you go for that tube and you inhale it, deep inhale and exhale, and just think about your breathing there. I've heard more than one person, more than Priscilla, talk about how it worked. Hey, Priscilla, if I, okay, Papa Drew's, it's a fight every day, and every day you have to say, I am not smoking today. Not going to do it. So, Papa Drew, would you be willing, if they dropped a link for you, would you come up and just talk for a minute about your process of how that happened? Because this is really, I doubt that he's the only person who is having this struggle. I don't know if you'd feel like coming up and talking about that for a minute. And straws, Papa Drew's straws. We have a ton of straws. Hitch up in tow, went into hospital with heart problems, came out 6 weeks later, thought I would be silly to start smoking again. Absolutely, yes. I can only imagine, because of all the addiction I have had. And I know I've shared on here that I'm a recovering alcoholic, 25 years sober, and that I've never really used other drugs. I smoked pot a little bit, but just because it was there and I was a kid, but truly an alcoholic. And it just, I relapsed one time at 12 years sober. I've been doing this 37 years. So when I relapsed at 12 years sober, it was so much harder to come back and get sober, first of all, physiologically to get sober, and then to stay sober. So I had to take my recovery way more serious the second time around, which I do. And I've actively worked with other women to help them learn how to stay sober. It's one of the things I do. Cold turkey. So if a moderator could drop a link, because this would be the first time I had anybody up here. Oh, he's at work. Okay. Thank you, though, for sharing. I appreciate that.
I hear you, Priscilla.
Thing with a nebulized. Hey, Priscilla, would you be willing to come up here and just talk a little bit about how you've done this? I know that you're very shy. My sister's very shy, but once she starts talking and she feels comfortable,
you can't shut her up.
Oh boy.
Oh, it went off.
Nope. Okay, that's all right. I knew she probably wouldn't want to. So anyways, so that is going on. Taking deep breaths. Thank you. Victoria May Wallace, I did quit years ago, but I was going to the gym and caretaking, so staying busy helps. Yes. And so for him, since he's very much an ADD person, and I believe he does, I believe, have physiologically ADD. And since he's been injured, and it's really been the middle of last summer when it happened, when it happened, and then the pain progressively got worse over the year. But the event that caused it happened last year, and as he became less and less physical, the smoking or the nicotine intake has gone up. So you're right. If you free your mind, your ass will follow. You have to tell yourself, not today, and just choose seeds and a straw, and the biggest thing that you have to want to or will to not. Yes. Can't be anybody else. I don't.
Hi, Lucky Dog, production moderator.
Thank you for coming. Senior sister, I was also smoking 2 packs a day and quit overnight after I almost drowned from not being able to breathe after diving in the pool. I used peppermint candy for my distraction. Oh, very good idea. He actually used to use, because he uses a medication that has to dissolve under his tongue and it tastes nasty. He used to use something. So maybe that's candy that he sucked on. So maybe that would be something to take up. Thank you for coming, Griswold Family Moderator. Right now, we're just kind of chatting about quitting smoking because Richard needs a surgery and he can't have the surgery till he can have a clean UA of nicotine. And he is struggling hard with it. Not even smoking a lot. So we're just getting ideas. Got some good ideas from Papa Drew, from my little sister Priscilla. And I know, Priscilla, you've said that, and it reminded you in the ER of how our mom looked when she went to the ER one time with pneumonia. She was sitting on the table, and
I get up for a minute.
It just reminded her of what our mom looked like, so sick. Okay, so let's see. We talked about that. Has anybody else got anything going on that they'd like to talk about that might be not just you? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put up real quickly our email address. So we'll talk while we're waiting to see if there's any other issues somebody might want to chat about, or because this is a community of human beings and we all have stuff going on. So, oh, what I was going to say is, I'm doing the best I can with the schedule for Share the Air. And I thought it would be simpler. And I don't know if I'm making it more difficult or what, but please be patient because it will get very straightened out and we'll get a good format. And I want it to be functional, and I also would like it to look nice as well. So, and it's all Eastern time. So most important thing is that it's Eastern time. Now, those of us on the West Coast, we just have to think, okay, so it says, like right now I came on at 11. On the schedule, it shows me on at 2. So blah, blah, blah. We all understand, I think we all understand that, how that works. So just for continuity's sakes, because I was trying to accommodate some people who kind of didn't care for that. But the fact is we need a continuous format. So anyways, that's it. So what I was going to do is put up my email, because that is how you can get information to me, or on Facebook. It is called Share the Air. And that's where you can find the schedule and information about what's going on for you. If you want to share what you're doing or a way to connect to people, that's also a usable format for that, because it is a Facebook page. And so go ahead, you can go there and say something, send me a private message about if you want to be on the schedule. And by the way, nobody has a time just for them. There's a lot of people here. And so if 9 o'clock in the morning works for you and Bob's on at 9 and somebody else is on at 9, it really doesn't matter. If that's the best time for you, choose what's best for you. And that will work. That way everybody gets their needs met. And that's right, Papa Drew. It is when your mind gets off task and wander. It's when you will fall. That's true. Staying on. I live by a particular philosophy in my life about staying on a narrow beam for my own recovery. I'm on a narrow beam. I don't jump off and go to bars. I just can't, because I was a bar drinker. So at a very young age, from age 16 on, because of a particular situation in my family, I had access to a bar. And so I was a very young drinker in a bar. So one of my things, and there are recovering people who go to bars and have fun. I guess I have to have a boring life in order to not die or kill somebody else in a drunk driving accident. And if that's the trade-off, hey, I'm in, all in. So anyways, Papa Drew was talking about when your mind starts to wander is when people fall off. And that's very true. Don't forget to do the thumbs up. There's 17 in the house and there is 12 thumbs up. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know why people need to do it. You could
subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, I think everybody here is subscribed, but if you're not, go over to our page and take a look at our videos. We've got some more stuff going to be coming out soon. So what I was going to do is I'm going to put up my email address, and lucretiak@gmail.com. I will be changing that to Burning Up the Roads, but forget I said that. I'll tell you when it happens, because I want everything to be flow, email, our YouTube name, whatever other things we do. We have a Burning Up the Roads Facebook page. You're welcome to come to if you haven't been there. Come share something. I'd love to hear from you. And I do look at that stuff. And by the way, on our videos, I genuinely enjoy feedback, especially constructive criticism. Some of my academic training and work training is in learning how to accept and give constructive feedback. What some people call criticism. I have a very thick skin. I am sensitive in certain ways, but I have a very thick skin, and it's very hard to hurt my feelings. So please, what you see, if there's something we can improve on, I would love to know. We don't have a great camera yet, but we've got what we've got, so we're doing the best we can with it. What do you think?
I think we're doing fine so far. I mean, better than I thought we would to begin with.
Go ahead.
It's kind of bewildering, I suppose is the word I would use, to think about being out there on the YouTube in front of a lot of people when I haven't been in my life ever out there like that. So it's a period of time to get used to it, and to look at the camera and talk is really something. I mean, I really have to try to picture an audience and everybody loves me, which probably isn't true, but you know, I'm getting there. It's your turn.
Oh God. Well, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
We've been married 35 years.
Together 37.
And I guess if we don't love each other by now, something bizarre is going on. So no.
The reason I took my glasses off was because I watch people with glasses on, and I see the glare on the glasses from the light, and I've been sitting here trying to see where I could sit that the glare isn't there, but it's there, and I can't get it there now. I don't see any glare, but I'm looking down at the floor. So how about if I just take them off and just sit here like this? That'll work.
You don't have to see. What's the scene? It's overrated. And by the way, you're right, Priscilla. Not going to bars does not have to make life boring. And we do not have a boring life. Just a different life, you know? And actually, I remember like one of the last days that I was in a bar, and it was after we had our child, and my father was babysitting him, probably my father and my aunt, and I was not drinking at the time, but but my world had been, you go to bars and play pool. I loved pool. One of the things I always have wanted to have is a pool table, but since I want to be a nomad full time, I don't know that we can pull a pool table behind us on a flatbed. In
case people are wondering, this is not a guitar. This is an arm of a chair for an electric wheelchair. I'm sitting in an electric wheelchair.
Yes, it looks like, yeah. So I remembered it was the middle of the day. It was like a Sunday, and I was like, this feels weird. Just being in the bar on a Sunday afternoon, and our son was with my father, and I just remember it didn't feel right anymore. And I think I've been back to a bar a couple times for things, but not, I just can't even remember, because generally speaking, my family doesn't really go to bars at this point in life. And so that's weird. I just thought of that. Papa Drew, I used to shoot for the Marine Corps in matches. One match that I had a shell casing eject out of my M16 rifle and stick in my hand and burn inside. My God, Papa Drew. I would have even taken that as a sign. I don't know. I just think I would have.
Well, I'm not going to play Army with you.
I was so focused on the target that I hit bullseye offhand at 300 yards from sights. Now, see, I would love to learn to shoot. I shot a few times. I was with some people once years ago, pre-husband, and there was a group of people, and we were at the lake here, Fern Ridge Reservoir, and I was standing up on this shore above this muddy area. Nobody was around down there, and it was a shotgun, and I pulled both triggers on it, and I flew back about 8 feet behind me. I mean, it blew me on my ass. I don't know if I could say ass on YouTube, but I just did, and I'm sorry for saying it, but it was horrible. And by the way, these freaks did not tell me, and I didn't know to push it hard against my shoulder, and I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. But at that time, I think I'd only had 1, but I've had 2 shoulder surgeries, and it blew. I mean, I thought it dislocated my arm. It was horrible. safe and pulled out shell casing out of my hand. Of course, with help. Keep your mind on task. Yes, please. Priscilla, Linda Barker, what is curious between the channel and the viewer? I think it's a curious relationship between the channel and the viewer. Yes, I agree. So the channel, Priscilla, is Richard and I, and the relationship that people build. And see, I'm about building relationships. When I look at your names, and I've seen most all of your faces, or many on different things, you know, and on your little icons, I envision you, and it helps me see you as a person and not just a name up here running by. Linda Barker, this is curious. Okay. Yes, Papa Drew sounds like our dad. So our dad was 94 when he passed, and in his life, I remember one time I was a little girl fishing with him and somebody else on their boat, and it was not a big boat, unfortunately for my dad, because I cast back and I went like that, you know, I pulled it forward and there was this, all I heard was this behind me, like, and I turned around and I had hooked my father's ear completely. The hook was in his ear. And he wasn't mad at me. He didn't yell. I don't remember him yelling at me at all, because trust me, I was scared to death hooking my dad's ear. And, you know, they just pulled it out.
Thank goodness it wasn't me. That's all I can say.
No, glad it wasn't you. No, and they just pulled it out, and my dad didn't say a word. There was no problem. Good idea to put your firearm on safety. Yes. Yeah, our dad was just someone who did what he had to do. He was one of the things he did, he was a volunteer fireman. And when he, at the end of his career there, he was a battalion chief. But my father's the man who, it did not cross his mind not to run into the fire or to the event. It was, you know, he was just the man who did what had to be done. And, you know, it's hard to find, I don't mean this the way it may sound, but people like my dad, men, and I'm just going to say men like my dad, there isn't a lot in the younger generation that reminds me of that kind of character. He had 100% superb character. Now, not to say he was perfect, because it would be easy to put our father up on a pedestal in retrospect, but 99 and 9/10 of everything, our interactions, except when he was trying to teach me math and he was not happy. And unfortunately, my 4th grade teacher was on the fire department with him. A man who said one time, "What am I going to do with you?" I don't know. Be a teacher and teach me math so my dad doesn't have to. So yeah, it would be easy to put him up on a pedestal, and he is. He is. We always measure, unfortunately, our husbands against our father. And as much as I love my husband, he's not my dad. And so, but I don't expect him to be anymore. I love my husband for the things that he has in him, and I accept he's just, you know, he's a different human being. Papa Drew, Linda Bark, first, it's a new thing and mostly one-sided, but you come to feel like you know and care about a person you've never met. That's right. That's right. That's one of the reasons, like the people who are right now in Arizona, Box Van D, just everybody down there, Roy and Becky, let's see, I know Scott is down there. I would think it would be so fun to be there. And in my mind, I'm just there. And when I say I'm just there, that's pushing me to make this happen one way or another. I just am excited to meet them. You all seem like you're really cool people. And I think Roy and Becky are on here. Phil American Lifestyle. Curtis, hello, hosts. Hello. It's good to see you guys. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, my little sister Priscilla took gun training. She got her something. I don't remember. But she took her son through, I think, firearm safety when he was young. And it was definitely, she learned a lot there. Oh, and you remember me doing that to Dad? Yeah. He did not hold it against me. So I need to see what time it is. 11:38. Got a few more minutes. So anybody else have any funny things they've done to their parents in life besides me? I've got a few others, but I'd love to hear. Thank you, senior sister. Yep. He was a very courageous person, from the military as a young man to the firefighting. Yeah, he was that guy. You know, he had 6 daughters with our mother. He came home every night after work. He did not come up missing. And he was responsible to the core. So one of the things to me, what he told me, and I think my little sister knows this too, but he said the only regret he had in life, and he just told this to us in the last year, was that he never made it to Alaska. He would have loved going to Alaska, but instead he stayed home. He did the responsible thing, didn't drag us all over the place, and not to mention he didn't have a vehicle big enough to put all of us, because there was 6 girls, there was his mother, his sister, and a wife, and 1 man. I think that's 8 or 9 females against 1, and it didn't seem fair. Huge cake and cookies. Priscilla, haven't I made a 10 or 12 layer cake before? It's one of the things I know how to do well is cook, and that includes baking, although I try not to bake anymore. Not a lot. And I bake bread great. The last thing I need is to be a great bread baker. Oh, okay. Jean, thank you for showing up. I'm glad you're here, Jean. I appreciate you coming by. So anyways, I know I've lost myself. Unfortunately, that happens to me sometimes. I'm trying to catch up. Be in there. Papa Drew in an outdoor kitchen. No, Priscilla, I'm not. I'm just not. But you know what I'd like is some of your daughter-in-law's no-bake cookies. That's what I'd like. The chocolate peanut butter no-bake cookies. And again, don't know how to make them because they're so easy that you could bake them, boom, boom, boom. And there's some other stuff called Christmas crack. Look it up. It's legal. It shouldn't be legal, but it's legal. It's Christmas crack. And you put crackers on a baking sheet, put something under it, or butter it really well. And I mean butter. I haven't used margarine since I was a child. And then it's a concoction of you put in and bring to a boil for like 3 minutes, a certain amount of butter and a certain amount of brown sugar. And then once it's boiled for, I think it's 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you pour that all over the crackers, and then you can put whatever you want on top of that or just leave it. I usually put chocolate chip cookies or chocolate chips, not the cookies, chocolate chips and walnuts or pecans or anything, a nut or no nuts. And then you put that in the oven for a very short period of minutes. And if you look it up, it's really simple. Oh my God, you can't fathom how delicious that is. I went to an event for Christmas about 3 years ago and took that as my offering. And people from across the room were like, Lucretia, I need that recipe. Well, it's not my recipe. I'd like to say it is. It's on the internet and it's called Christmas crack, and you will fall in love with it. Let's see. where we're at here. Oh, cast iron. Love cast iron. Yes, Papa Drew. Yes, Priscilla. And I have a, what's the pot with the lid on it? Do you remember the name, Richard? Anyways, it's a pot. No, yes, can't think of the right name for it. Anyways, I love using that. But so you have them. I had giant cast iron skillet. I mean, and I'm not exaggerating, it was giant. And I had clear down to a small one, and then I had a fish one that had the thingies in it for fish. I don't know where those went. Now, I may have sold them at a garage sale years ago, but it's long ago because I can't remember what happened to them.
So.
And I loved cast iron. So I've got to start collecting a little bit more, a few pieces, a small one and a medium-sized one. So one of the things that we're having to do, and I was going to talk about, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Dutch oven. Thank you, Priscilla. Bye-bye. Happy Place Camping. Thank you for coming. And moderators, if you would drop your link, and that way, I'd like people to be able to, we still have a few minutes, people to be able to go to your channels.
Come here. Come here.
Oh, there's our big friend Czar.
Come here, Czar.
Oh, I wish I could move the camera. He's a beautiful German Shepherd Malinois wolf, and he is it's my son's dog, but he's really a family dog.
Come here.
He is huge, and he's the sweetest thing. He was a rescue, and then my nephew rescued him from the rescue. But when the person got him a couple years ago, because I think he's 3 years old now, he had been, as a puppy, restrained with barbed wire, and he has the scars on his legs to prove it. And there's certain things that he can't walk by. A clothes basket, for instance, and I believe what it is about the clothes basket is I believe he was probably kept in a very small cage, and you couldn't put this dog in a clothes basket if you wanted because of his size. But my point is, this dog is the most gentle animal. Come here, Zarbinks. Come here, buddy. Come here. When I'm going to try to put it down for you to see him. Zar. Hey, Zar, look over here. Oh, say hi to the people, Zar. Zar, look here. Say hi. Aunt Priscilla's on there. Hi, baby boy. So he's a precious dog, but he's super gentle and loving. And I would never thought a dog would have come like this, with this potential, would have come out of the abuse he came out of, and that he's precious. So he just woke up, and he's out here with us. Griddle is, no, it's not a Blackstone. Oh, Linda Barker, my mother was a very cool baker, very, yes, fresh ingredients. Yep, Linda. And let's see what else. So, yes, Czar is everybody's buddy in the family. Everybody loves Czar, and Czar loves everybody else. I call him Czar Binks. I don't know why I put the tag name of Binks on him. He's, a 100-pound dog, and I call him Binks. I don't know. It seemed to fit. I always put little tag names on things, including people. Papa Drew, I'm going to buy my griddle. I am going to go buy my griddle today after work. This is a system. So it's more than just a griddle. You can do pizza oven on it, or barbecued on it, or Dutch oven on it. Oh, goodness. That sounds like the system to have, Papa Drew. Wow. Um, does anybody on here have a Traeger? Yes. So RVing. So I want to get to that. One of the things that I was, you're pushing me around with that wheelchair, the electric wheelchair. So yes, czar, not czar. There's no C. Everything has to do double duty, triple duty, whatever duty. And so I actually have come to the realization that I need a shower in my rig. I need a shower. I'm not someone who can go 2 weeks or 10 days. I don't believe that that will work for me. So coming to terms with those things, moving forward to getting on the road, I believe, so we have lined up a schoolie. It's a small one though, which it can be done in a small one. Oh, Papa Drew, I have an Instant Pot. My son bought it for me for Mother's Day, and none of the instructions have worked out for me. I don't know why. I've done exactly the minutes it said, and I've had to redo it, add more time, put it back in for more time. It's just, I know it's just learning to get used to it. So anyways, the whole downsizing process, getting rid of things. So this is my father's house. And to start with, we have to, as a family, my 3 living sisters, one is not on here. I don't believe Nancy showed up. Thank you, Nancy. And Priscilla, you can tell her I stuck my tongue out at her. I'm just going through to see if she showed up. I do not see Nancy on here. And I know she ain't running around because she fell down last night. So she ain't out doing a bunch of stuff today. Nope, I don't see Sister Nancy here. Sister Patricia has been here, Priscilla, but Nancy has abandoned me. Thank you, Nancy. So anyways, downsizing, figuring out what we can do without, oh, well, if I'm in courtside, I'd love to help cook breakfast, cook a meal. I love to cook for large groups of people. I do. And that's how I was taught to cook. Like I said, there might be 10 of us or 12. My mother couldn't cook for 10 people. She would have to cook for 30. So she just, I think, had to invite lots of people to things. So I learned to cook large. Nancy can't access YouTube until she finds out what. Oh, that's right. That's right. Get on that grandchild, Nancy. Thank you, Priscilla. So don't tell her I stuck my tongue out at her. So so we have to, my sisters and I still have not finished up some stuff with my dad's because we just don't want to. We're dragging it out. And so, but we do need to get all of my parents' belongings that were theirs and look at them and decide who's going to take what. And since I'm going to go on the road and we're not sure that we're going to be able to keep this house yet, that is still up in the air because I would love to have this house and have family be able to access it. I mean, my little sister and I grew up in this house. The idea that it wouldn't be here is just almost unbearable, but we'll have to bear it in some way. So in my head, I'm thinking, which possessions do I really want? Which things could I not leave behind? I've got albums. I've got a baby book for my son. Although he's 30, he could probably take it now. I've already given him my very first Bible, and he's got it in his safe, and he's keeping it. And other things. And my little sister doesn't have a lot of room either, you know. So I'm going to be, I think, I'm going to back up. I talked about, we have looked at and have kind of on the back burner the small schoolie, but we will have to build it out, and we can't even get our hands on it till December. And I want to be at the RTR and the PAR-TR, which I think is where Papa Drew's talking about, the PAR-TR, which sounds super fun, but I really need to go there. It's just like well, I have a longing to go meet people. I have to meet Bob Wells. I love that man. He's the only reason I'm here. He's what drew me into YouTube. He's what drew me into thinking I could actually take a crap in a bucket. Okay, I said it again. I could poop in a bucket. And that is something, it never crossed my mind. So he made it potential as a potential. So I'm finding a way around that. And so I believe now I've moved from the idea that a schooling will work, because it takes a while to build out a schoolie. And my husband thinks he's just going to throw a damn blow up bed in there and we'll have a camp stove and bucket, or a Thetford, something like that, and we're going to go. I just don't think I will be comfortable and happy in that situation. And from what I understand, that it is, people talk about being able to sleep correctly. A good night's sleep is what really, you have to be able to do that. And so in my mind, I'm leaning towards a Class C. Now, still putting, let's see, last year was a big meetup, and I hope this year to have a bigger meetup. Oh God, even if I come in a tent, I feel like I've got to go. So, but I don't want to travel around with a tent, if you know what I mean. No, thank you. We're too old. We're too old to be tearing down and putting up a tent every night or every couple nights and blah, blah, blah. No, thank you. I just can't do it. No matter what kind of back surgery I have, I will still be in recovery, and I will still be forever. I will have back issues because my spine is deteriorating as we're speaking. So, and Richard has his own, he has his own stuff. And so I can't contribute a whole lot to the physicalness of all of this. And so I don't want to put so much on him that his life is miserable, because I can do that without putting a big build on him. And I don't want to make him miserable anymore. Do I? No. No, I don't.
I don't want you to either.
I know. So I'm leaning towards probably a Class C. But here, let me throw this out there in the last minutes of this show. I'm just trying to see what I've missed. Okay, so I ran across on Facebook Marketplace. Now, please, everybody, don't yell at me and tell me what an idiot I am. But a Class A, 30-foot Class A, it's not running, but it's great inside. Now, I realize great inside, I know people are laughing at me, but my father, so yesterday, what did bring me to tears first thing in the morning was I was looking at this Class A, 30 feet long, really nice inside. They've redone it. It does need a new couch, but it has some nice floors. Everything is bright wood. They've really done a lot. It is set for the last 2 years, and they can't start it. He even bought a brand new battery. Will not turn it over. So I started doing some research, because my dad always said a year ago he wanted us to buy this boat or not buy it. It was free and it was big. It was a big boat. I don't even know if we could have put it on the side of our house. It was so big. But because it didn't run, it would need to be completely gone through and all of that. And he just said, if you get a good deal, you just take the good deal and you can fix anything. Now, that was my father, our father, right, Priscilla? He could fix anything. He was a master at anything he did. And yes, he could figure out what was wrong with this Class A motorhome. It is a 1990, like a Bounder. I think it's made by the same company. 1990, and I see people, Dave's RV Life, he has, Southwind. It's a Southwind. Dave's RV Life has a Bounder, an older Bounder like that. And so does, I think, Camper Van Kevin, his is newer, but still considered an older one. But if you can get a good enough deal, my dad said, you buy it, you take the deal, and you fix it. Now, but it's over on the coast from us. It's about 60, 80 miles from us. You have to go over to the coast and go south about 25 miles. It's 60 to the coast and 25 or so, maybe 30 to North Bend, where this vehicle is at. And
there's no towing it here.
there's no towing it here. And, you know, if it was here in Eugene, we might be able to find some way to deal with it. But so does somebody think that's a good idea? I mean, if we could figure out before we bought it what was wrong with it, and it wasn't major, like a needing new engine, but even at that, if you saw the inside of this, you would say, I understand, Lucretia, why you're a little bit crazy about this. But it doesn't run, and we have to have a vehicle that runs. So I think theirs is older, Lucky Dog Productions. I do think theirs is older. RV Underway. I've just seen so many, and unless they got really lucky and they were in great condition at a mechanical level and at an aesthetic level. Now, this obviously is older on the outside. The couple that has the oh God, celebration. It's they're working on the road by selling stuff. They went through an older one of these, and it's beautiful. He painted it on the outside. It didn't even have a garage to paint it in. Painted it. They did all of this reconstruction on the inside and the painting on the outside. They did it on the road every 14 days, having to move. It was a miserable time, but they're traveling cell, SELL abrasion, I believe. Anyways, their videos are up there, and I know people know who I'm talking about. I wish if somebody knows, if you could straighten me out on their name, because they did a magnificent job with their RV, buying this older RV and then working with an ugly shell and fixing it. But the motor was good and it ran. This one doesn't run. So I hope I have not missed anybody. So that's the things happening on this side of the world. I'm glad we still got a couple people in here, 12, it looks like, in the house. So this Thursday, so is there anything that you've noticed? Is there anything?
About what?
I don't know. Any interest or comments that you have? We are at, it's 12 o'clock. All right. Thursday is news day. And if you come to the news chat, please bring a piece of news. Anything from your area. Anything from your area, bring a piece of news of what's going on, either in your state or whatever, or a question you have, or email it to me, and I'd be very happy to look it up and find out all the goodies on it and share about it. Thursday is a news day, and I don't know if everybody liked it or not, but thank you, Meant to Be RVing, for the thumbs up, and don't forget us on Thursday. Well, generally that's going to be me. And I may have a guest on Thursday, I'm hoping. Don't forget Box Van D's birthday tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And if somebody could drop that link, and then I will shut my mouth. Thank you, Linda. No problem, Jean. So just if somebody could drop Box V's information for tonight. And I know people are making videos. Dang it.
What?
Videos for her birthday. Thank you, Hitch Up and Tow. Glad you were here. I hope we see you Thursday. All right. Anybody got Box Van D's stuff? Or am I missing it? Having been dropped already. All right, well, we're over by 2 minutes. I will see you all Thursday. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. God bless you, and stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye.